The holidays on Rosie are very...
Hi, gives a brilliant performance in everything he does. His latest film, The Majestic, is creating a lot of Oscar buzz, very deservedly. Please welcome back to the show, in a film that opens this Friday, the wonderful Mr. Jim Carrey.
Hello.
Great to see you.
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. I see you pretty much...
Etiquette is going famously.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I see you every day because...
What's this red button for?
For footstool. You don't need it. You're tall. No, look, see, there it is.
Oh, I see. All
and
right.
you know, the first day we had it installed,
yes,
we had William Shatner here, and he said, what's that button for? And it was maladjusted, and the seat flipped him, and he went right onto the floor.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Really?
It was
where no man has gone before.
Exactly. Now, I got to tell you, I watch you at least 3-4 times a week in The Grinch.
Oh,
because,
really?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Well, you know, I've got the 4 kids under 6. You're their hero.
Ah, yes.
And I love that film.
And you're their shut-in friend.
Exactly.
Yes, I understand.
But you know what? That is a great, great, great performance.
That's the wonderful thing. Even people who don't like me,
yeah,
like, I'm in the house if they have kids.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You know, the software is there.
Right. But they know all the lines, and they say all the part. And my
really
little
sweet.
daughter is 4, Chelsea. She cries every time that you get your feelings hurt when you're with the mayor.
Yeah.
She's like, this is it, Mommy. This is it. I'm like, close your eyes.
Kids are stealing presents all over the world.
Exactly. Now, this new movie, Jim, you do a wonderful, wonderful job.
Thanks,
and I'm so happy to see you in a non-comedy.
A human thing.
Yeah, because, you know,
really
that one you did about the street, with the gay son, what was it called?
I think that was it, the street with the gay son.
No. Doing Crime on Elmont Drive. Maple Drive,
yes. right.
That was the first time that I saw you acting without any comedy.
Yeah.
And the performance, everybody was blown away by it. And
I've still gotten reaction from that. So a lot of people still come up to me and say, man, that street with the gay guy thing. That was fantastic.
No,
what was that?
Yeah, with Jim Sicking, right?
Yes, Jim Sicking, right. Yeah.
I thought it was so well done. And
it was such a fun thing, you know. It is an interesting thing to like put on, you know, to kind of let everything fall away and all the tricks and all the sleight of hand and just kind of let things be and let the story tell itself. It's really fun.
It seems so many of our best comedians, like you are, Robin Williams, when they get the shot to do their dramatic thing, you know, they deliver.
They blow it.
No, they don't.
Oh, right.
Like Good Morning Vietnam. He wasn't he?
He's fantastic.
You know,
he's terrific.
This movie, as well as
comedians, as you know,
tortured.
Basically, we're tortured. And, you know, we have, the emotion is right there. Like, if I pricked Rosie with a pin, she would fly around the studio right now. I swear, because it's right there. You know,
it's true.
It's what we've been denying our whole lives.
Yeah.
So there's a well.
Was it a difficult thing to get people to see you in serious roles? Because, you know, right away people go funny, funny, funny.
Sure. Well, people have preconceived notions, but you know, I think it's whether you can do the job or not. It really comes down to that. You know, whether it's commercially successful or not, I have no control over. But I'm not afraid to be human. You know, and I really enjoyed actually, you know, having chemical reactions to people and having a romantic, you know, love life on screen.
Yeah.
And it was really sweet. I really loved it.
Now, when you get a script like that, do they say to you, do they think right away, Jim Carrey, or do you read it and say you have to convince them that I can do the drama?
Well, I read the
I
coverage.
mean? Yeah.
I get a little blurb and stuff, and I go, okay, whatever.
Yeah, but...
Should I do this?
No. Do you know what I mean? Like, when they see, like, I know a comedy, Ace Ventura, they go, anything funny, give it to him. This movie is like a Jimmy Stewart role, sort of.
Well, you know, for me, it was, you know, I guess, you know, how I kind of carry myself in my life. I'm kind of an everyman type of person, if you get to know me. So I don't really identify with the Marlon Brandos and the James Deans of the world. I love watching them, but, you know, they're like a train wreck. So I kind of identify with the everyman, the guy who has to kind of reach, you know, within himself to overcome his fear and his fear.
Fear, yeah, I understand that. I totally understand that. Now, do you Do you watch yourself? Do you go to the movies and see it on the big screen? Because
I'm watching myself now from the rafters of the studio.
I saw this last night.
No, I asked for project wherever I go.
Well, you know, they gave me a tape, but I wanted to see it in the theater because it's such like an epic, it's visually a stunning film.
Yeah,
Are you able
beautiful.
to sit and watch yourself that big on the screen?
It was harder for me this time. It was a little more difficult because of the fact that I'm doing things I'm not used to, or not doing things I'm used to. Right. And so it was a, you know, it was a little more vulnerable, a little more exposed, and I felt, you know, I think it'll probably take 2 years for me to separate myself from it and be able to look at it as a character instead of like, ah, God, look at my Adam's apple.
Right, right.
It's huge!
Yeah.
You know,
Are you the kind of actor who goes to dailies when you're shooting a movie? Do you watch yourself that day? You do?
Yeah, sure.
You don't get self-conscious?
Oh, I get self-conscious, sure. Yeah, no, they don't want me there.
Yeah.
The director says, oh, don't let him go in the trailer. You know, stop him, somebody. You know, but I do watch it just to make sure I'm not completely screwing it up. You know?
Right, right. This is a beautiful film. And
God forbid I should trust the director's opinion.
Right, right. But I can't go to dailies because I go to dailies and I go, oh my God, listen to my voice.
It's horrifying.
Yeah, and then because you never see yourself.
When you're being natural, it's the hardest thing in the world. When I'm bouncing off the walls, you know, it's easy for me. But this kind of thing, you really get kind of judgmental about yourself. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's a great performance. You should be very proud of it.
Thanks a lot.
This is a movie about a blacklisted writer or a writer during the whole McCarthy era.
Yes.
And he goes and gets in a car accident. He has amnesia, and he's sort of taken into this town of very loving people.
Yeah.
And given a shot to become something.
It's about a
himself.
scavenger, you know. It's actually, he's a hunter who's acting like a scavenger, and that's what a lot of us are in life, you know. Until we stand up and stand for something that's real, you know, we kind of like are sitting back waiting for someone else to make the moves, and then we'll come in and do our thing. But we're living like hyenas, you know.
Right.
And Luke, the character he becomes, is a hunter. As a lion, you know, and he's, you know, his slate is wiped clean, so when he comes into this town, he's met by all these wonderful people who tell him you're worthwhile, you're really worth something, and you've done these wonderful things, and we all love you, and you represent all of our sons, and it's a huge responsibility for him that he feels, but at the same time, you know, it's like he's suddenly able to stand up straight and fill his space in the world and own his place.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's very beautiful, the ending scene, the train. I don't want to say anything, but the train. We have a clip. This is the Lighthouse one. Do you know which one this is?
The Lighthouse one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I think it's the street with the gay guy.
Is it the street with the gay guy?
Yeah, it's
all right, look for
Street with
Jane
the Gay Guy
Sicking from
thing.
Hill Street Blues. Take a look. This is the Majestic that opens Friday.
Is this another secret place?
Our special one. We used to come up here all the time to watch the sunset.
And that's what made it special.
Well, this is also where we had our first kiss.
That is special. Wish I could remember that.
Me too.
We're in love, weren't we?
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. I'm fine. Really.
You don't sound?
Just ignore it. It's going away.
So are we going to be married?
When you got back from overseas, we were engaged just before you shipped out.
Is there anything I can do to help you with that?
The Majestic opens Friday. We'll be back with Jim Carrey right after this break. Don't go away. The Majestic. It opens Friday, and it's really a great movie. How did you prepare for that time period? Did you do a lot of research? Because I know you do, like with Andy Kaufman.
I read George Orwell.
No, you
Built myself a machine.
Come on.
Now, oh, there were a lot of things. I mean, I read about the era a lot, you know. And, you know, I talked to some old fogies.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
no, I also would sit, you know, daily I would get the back issues of the Los Angeles Times and read them while I was in the makeup chair, which was a really interesting thing because the trials followed our picture along. When we started the trials in the picture, the HUAC hearings, it was Larry Parks, who did the Jolson story, was one of the first up to testify and to name names.
Right.
So it was amazing to watch it, to read along with it while I was doing it. It really, you know, created a real feeling. Any
movie about that time period in American history, it's almost hard to believe. You know, people our age, we don't remember. We weren't there then. We weren't present, you know, but to realize that happened in our country is sort of startling, you know? Yeah, it can happen anywhere. I mean, it basically, you know, it comes out of, you know, if there's a fear to be tapped by somebody who wants power, they'll tap it, you know? Right. And you have to watch out for people who come out with the white hat, you know, and say they're trying to protect you, and at the same time they're going, him and him and him and there, it's their fault and it's his fault, and stuff like that. The pointers are dangerous. Yeah, you wonder what you would do if you were in that position. You know, if you were back then, you were a young screenwriter, they call you, do you name names? If you were faced with it, what would you do? You know, because that decision defines the rest of your life. I mean, you know, so people's lives were completely changed by one moment. And, you know, I always wonder about that, you know, is there going to be a moment in my life where it will define me for the rest of my life? And now that I'm out here, I realize that this is it. I better do something quick. No, and you really hope that you're up to the challenge. But, you know, when you see other people faced with their moments, you know, really after September 11th. The most important thing is that you're the hero of your own movie, you know, when you're alone by yourself. I know a lot of people who can't be alone. You know, so, and it's simply because of that, because they can't really face themselves. They're not happy with themselves. Right. So, you know, yeah, the September 11th things, you know, that challenged a lot of people to kind of look within themselves for a hero. Well, and to redefine what our society thinks of as heroes. You know, I often think celebrities have such absurd prominence in a culture where they're really just entertaining, you know? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but I'll, you know, suck it up like bread and gravy. Well, goody, goody. Well, we're going to take a break, come back with another clip from the Majestic that opens Friday. Funny Man Jim Carrey. After this, don't go away.
Your Christmas morning at the Cathedral.
Christmas Day at 9 on Channel 3.
You know, every year, Joey loses 20 pounds doing just that. He comes in after the summer a little chubby.
What a feeling of power, man.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
Joey gets him going.
Unbelievable. You got to get some tears going, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tears, laughter, everything.
Speaking of which, you probably don't remember this, when you got the award at Amphar. Do you remember when
Yes.
And you started to cry? And
I did the little, the preference in the eyes, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, and pretend in front of the audience. He goes,
Yes. It was a very serious event and completely inappropriate.
I want to say it's the funniest thing I ever saw in my life. I was screaming, laughing, because who would ever think? He's like, I just want to say, it really, excuse me. I'll never forget it. But I thought, you probably don't even remember doing it. Did you make that decision?
I had something that funny to do here.
No, you know what? You're an actor here. You're Jimmy Stewart.
That's right.
Yeah. How do you feel about those comparisons? Do you feel a little... It's a little intimidating, Jimmy Stewart.
Well, sure, absolutely.
You never
I mean, that's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
I've been so lucky, actually, because every time I've kind of stepped out of the power alley, you know, that's what they call it, the power alley. Right. I've had people talking about Oscars. I've had people, you know, really kind of enjoying what I'm doing. So I feel very, very lucky to have such a wide range of opportunities.
Right now, I'm an idiot, but what's the power alley? You mean L.A.?
You don't know about the power alley?
Is that L.A.?
That's supposed to be what you're good at.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've got a power alley, too, then.
I do, too. And I'm not telling you where it is.
All righty. We have another clip. This is a clip when you were asked to testify at the McCarthy hearings.
Yes.
And you have to come to a choice. You make a big choice in front of all of America.
Yeah. He's kind of standing there with the entire town haunting him. And certainly the girl he's fallen in love with is there in his mind, and he just can't do the wrong thing, I guess.
Right, which is a great moment. Take a look from the Majestic, Jim Carrey.
Mr. Chairman, my client is clearly under an enormous strain as a direct result of the belligerent questioning of Mr. Clyde, and he is therefore not responsible for his comments. At this time, we wish to invoke the Fifth Amendment.
No, we don't.
Yes, Pete, we do.
No, Kevin, we don't. So knock it off!
Shut the hell up and let me get through this. The Fifth Amendment is out of the question. But there is another amendment that I'd like to invoke. I wonder if anyone here is familiar with it. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion.
Mr. Uncle, you're out of order,
Congress shall make no law respecting
The chamber will come to order, Mr. Uncle.
an establishment of religion,
You're out of
or
order.
prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and petition the government for a redress of grievances.
You will not presume to lecture this committee,
That's the
sir.
First Amendment, Mr. Chairman. It's everything we're about, if only we'd live up to it.
Is a great moment. Well, the movie opens on Friday, and you have a great holiday. And
Thank you.
your Power Alley is going to be the Oscars, I think. So it'll be fun for you.
That'd be nice.
I imagine.
Thank you.
Great to see you. Have a wonderful Christmas.